It is WuJu Wednesday, so I've got my buddy Public Awakening with us. We had been learning a little bit about negative blood types and all the blood types actually, but he's got even more information about some other stuff. So we're going to be just chatting about all things woo-woo. So we'll be right back on The New Normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis. Whoops, none of my stuff is working today. Bear with me. We're back on The New Normal. Hey, Public, how are you? I hope you're having a better woo-woo Wednesday than I am. It's crazy over here.
It's wooey, that's for sure. Yeah, everything's good.
Wooey.
Everything's good. You got to just keep positive with it. Everything's good. Everything's awesome. Everything's going to get better. You know?
I think so. It's definitely changing.
Oh, yeah.
Not to get off on too much of a tangent early on, but I did an interview with SL369 and a psychic that she helps educate people on their gifts and all this. Her name's Michelle O. And that'll be on my Patreon after this. I'll probably wait about 30 minutes or maybe an hour after we finish up here so people have time if they want to sign up for Patreon and be able to see that video. But afterwards, SL and I were talking. She's just such a great human and has just a really giving, loving spirit. And she was like, "So Lisa, I want to ask you, how are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm fine." I thought she just meant I seemed a little tired from, we had a crazy weekend with Bix and everybody in Arizona. But she's like, I feel like, how did she say it? Something about maybe some health problems or something. And anyway, we came around this whole thing that there's this food issue. And I haven't had a problem with food in my life. During the weekend, of course, we're with Amy, Miss Food Cleanse Queen. And so we go to the store and we're buying all these, healthy veggies and snacks and, whole food and all this. And I didn't realize it, but I had also been taking my, what's it called? Vinegar with the mother in it.
The apple cider, Bragg's apple cider.
Yes.
So cloudy apple cider vinegar.
I've been taking the tablets of it before my meals, and then also taking this thing that helps lower your A1C, and I think that's what it's called. It affects your blood sugar, and also magnesium for digestive stuff, whatever. So
cinnamon's really good for blood sugar. Also, cinnamon is awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. That's funny. I crave cinnamon all
it's
the
a
time.
Stabilizer. It's supposed to really help equal out your blood sugar. It's supposed to bring balance into your whole blood levels, and it's
that
actually
makes so much. Since I was a child, I have craved cinnamon, and I've always had that low, hypoglycemic kind of blood sugar thing.
Yeah, me too. Negative blood trait when we get into that.
Oh, okay. Well, so SL's asking me about all this, and I was like, I was really trying to, be good, especially before the event. And then we're coming on summer, and so it's eating really good. And then we get there and we're having all this great food. And then I get back and I think, I'll be a little naughty because we're back and I didn't want to mess with making a whole meal. Cannon was sick and Charlie was making fish and broccoli or something. And I did not eat that. And I had
you don't like any fish? You don't like fish?
I don't like fish, no. I had pita bread, and then I had this painful stomach ache in the morning, and she started talking about the same thing, and she said, okay, then I was supposed to ask you about this, and she said, Spirit wants us to change our diet. Something about that's part of the awakening, or the frequency is getting away from these GMO foods.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm curious for all of you in the chat as well, if you guys, or if you're watching this later and you want to comment, if you're noticing new food issues that you've never had before, and kind of what that is. And I'm going to get off all the bread and all that stuff and see if that doesn't really, because I'd never had that in my life. And I noticed it a few weeks ago, and then I got off the bread to try it to see and I didn't have any pain. And then literally last night, 4 little triangles of pita bread, and I was like
Sure.
up all night and miserable stomach ache. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. So I didn't realize that was also, or the low blood sugar is a negative
Yes. Yep.
RH thing.
Low blood sugar, hypoglycemia in particular. That's the low one, right? Hypoglycemia is the low one. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm terrible.
Yeah. Hyper would be high. So hyper would, yeah, hypo would be low. Yeah. That runs in my family, on both sides. Arthritis, going gray early is another trait of the negative bloods. But yeah, there's a lot of very similar specific things. One thing you could try for that, if you're going to eat bread or, things that, people with allergies, and I suggest this for people all the time with allergies, or even just plain old food sensitivities, you can have, keep in the house, you can always have some acidophilus and some chewable enzymes. They're usually papaya enzymes or pineapple bromelain.
I actually have some right here. Digestive enzymes.
Those are you eat those while you're eating the food that you're maybe not supposed to eat, and that's going to help your body pre-digest it, which greatly is going to help everything go down without having your body throw off the reaction that says, hey, you're not supposed to have this, because by the time it gets down into the intestines, it's already partially digested. The same with the acidophilus too.
Okay.
Once you populate your stomach, I said that weird. Once you populate your stomach better with the good different bacteria, there's acidophilus. There's a whole bunch of them. I just got one now. It's got 8 strains, maybe 8 different strains of healthy bacteria in it, a probiotic in it, and it's like it's like 6 billion. Dose per capsule, which is really good. I mean, if you could do something like that sometimes and just kind of get on it, stay on it for the summer, you could stay on something like that for allergy season. It greatly helps. It brings down your body's overall histamine response, which is going to shut off any of the GERD or the gastric reflux or the irritable bowel or whatever they're calling. Basically, I believe, my own opinion, I believe it's all food allergies. I believe it all goes down to something, and if it's not the wheat itself, it's the products that are on the wheat and what the wheat is being treated. That's what SL
was saying. Is she thinks a lot of it is the chemtrails, the mercury in the water. She also recommended not eating any fish. We're gonna do a whole show with her. She's got a lady who works with a doctor who's got SL on a strict diet, and SL is like, it's terrible. She goes, I have the most boring food right now, but I feel really good. Yeah. And so I don't know. I'm curious how everybody's adapting to this. Because if this is something that the universe is wanting to like raise our vibration with, it would make sense that what we eat would change, numb, dull.
Sure. Healthy, living, vital foods, juices, healthy vegetables, fresh fruits and vegetables grown organically or without the pesticides and everything. You're putting that energy. It's an energy transfer. If you think about it like that, would you want to eat energy that came out of the garbage can, or eat energy that came out of a beautiful hydroponic garden grown organically with like butterflies and bumblebees around? I mean, I'd want to eat the other stuff. It's literally an energy transfer. If you think about it like that, if you go past the food and the nutrients and the caloric value and all that kind of stuff, think of your food and whatever it is you put in your body. This is what I do. I think of it as an energy transfer. Is that energy, is how that was produced, is how that was stored, is what it is that a positive, is that going to positively transfer its energy into you, its life source? Or are you going to get some chemical-laden GMO, broccoli, bathed in, Roundup because that's just what they can do? And are you going to eat that?
And the mercury. And then I think about, Mom talks about how the Fukushima radiation is like, I don't know if it's at San Francisco yet, but it's coming over here and it's affecting all of that. So.
I saw maps years ago that said it's everywhere. It's all up and down the coast of the United States. It's all the way down to Mexico. Yeah. It's just a matter of how much. If it's only a little tiny bit, they say, it's not even worth mentioning because it's not above their levels where it's dangerous. And then once a number starts to approach the dangerous number, then they just kick it up a little more. It's no. We're gonna recalculate how we figure out the dangerous number. So no, it's good. It's good. I know that was dangerous last year, but it's not dangerous now. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
These are
Well,
the
I
games we
think
play.
that made me think of I had a pastor that told a story about he was teaching his kids about like a little lie or a big lie or whatever, and he was like making brownies with them. He went and like got a little scoop of dog poop and was going to put it in the brownies, and the kids are like, "Oh, it's just a little bit. The rest is okay, you know." And the kids were like mortified, of
Yeah.
course. But that makes me think of how, like, even if you're eating broccoli, but it's got pesticides on it, it's a good thing, but it's got a little bad stuff on it, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, it's better than eating the processed foods. It's better than eating dead foods. It's better than eating, packaged foods. But
Right.
we can do better if we want to. It's not always the most convenient, to eat that way and to buy that way and to do it the right way, depending on where you are.
Yes, I was
Um,
gonna say because we were in this beautiful area of Arizona and this, like, organic, beautiful grocery store,
oh
and
yeah,
you walk in, and we just stayed on the outside, which I've heard that before. Don't go in the center of your grocery store. If you start on the outside, fresh fruits, the deli, go on the back, go to the meats, hit your
hmm,
dairy, come down the cheese, but when you get in the center of the grocery store, most of that is that canned, packaged,
yeah,
all of the preserved,
hmm,
manufactured fake food. So,
oh
and
sure,
that's kind of what we did. Anyway, I thought it was really interesting. And then for SL to be like, so I need to ask you about your health. When your psychic friends ask you questions, listen
that's good.
and
That's
have those
awesome.
conversations. So, yeah, it was kind of awesome. So, anyway,
It's really
um,
neat how that happens.
mhm.
We get groups of people sharing their talents. She's just still kind of on to developing her gifts at this point, right? She
Oh,
didn't
God.
she didn't
SL
start
is
that
like,
long ago, right?
well, it's pretty new to her in like that it's been her teens, but her accuracy level is
Oh, it's crazy.
off the charts. I mean, 85% or more.
Wow.
Um, and so we'll be doing some more. She did talk about to do a quick crypto. Everybody was talking about Vitalik selling off some Shiba Inu, I think is what it's called.
Yeah.
Um,
Shibu Coin. He supposedly sent it to uh, uh, India for COVID relief or something.
for like a benevolent thing.
Yeah.
And she said, don't worry about it. She's like, take advantage of it if you can buy now, but it's still, her guides are still seeing it doing very well in the future. So it might be a great opportunity for people that thought they missed out on it before to buy in.
Sure.
But back to sorry, I got off on a tangent
No,
of
no problem.
SL and all that. But back to do you want to do more RH negative or I thought the video that you sent
Sure.
to me was really interesting because she said it was really beautiful because she said the way she said it was that God or the universe created each bloodline is important and has different gifts or purposes, and God made them on purpose,
Hmm. Yeah.
which I thought was really cool. Like she talked about the queen's blood, and I guess her family had some of that, and that's the same. So DJT is also of royal blood because his mother
Hmm.
was. Um,
Well, they say anything with negative blood was only supposed to be the the people like us who are negative bloods and who aren't royalty. I've read stories where they make fun of us and call us, the bastard children, and where we weren't supposed to be. We were the equal of, of back on the plantations when what the dirty slave
oh,
master would do. Yeah, yeah, that's what they make fun of.
interesting.
Yeah, yeah, because we don't have the same mindset.
Because
You know.
we skipped out somehow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're not accepted by them because we're not of the same. I don't know what you want to call it, social status, I guess. I don't know what you want to refer.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool with
Yeah,
not
yeah.
part of their social status for sure. Well, what else do you have for us today?
Look at that. I'm just reading here in the comments here. So I want to say hi to people. Charles Patterson, Daddio, Clint Westwood, Paulie P. Good to see you guys. Stephen Tyrell.
I got to meet Stephen
Just reading
Tyrell.
some of this. Yeah.
this weekend in Arizona. I also
Blind
saw
Dave Crypto's here. Tom's
Jim
here.
Montgomery.
Trini Man.
I don't know
Sorry.
if Jim's on there. No,
Rick
it's okay. I was
Costa.
scrolling through.
Magic Torch. Yeah. Satoshi Son was here. Hey, buddy. Good
Yeah,
to see you.
Satoshi. Why can I not say that? Satoshi Sean.
I just messed it up too.
Keep meaning to message him and have him on. That's a good reminder. I'm going to have to write it down then. Nancy's here.
Gary N. Crypto Chris Card. Nancy, you said? Yay.
Nancy Iceman.
Nancy Iceman. Magic Torch. I'm just going by seeing I didn't see everything. Very cool. Thank you, everybody, for showing up. Check infant mortality rate since meltdown. Man, I'm missing this. My comments are behind. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not showing on the right time. So, yeah, I don't know. Different traits. I've just got some different things. I was saying earlier in the show, I kind of keep going back. I keep pulling away from society like as often as possible. Now I don't even have regular cable television. I only have internet coming into our home here. I don't read the newspapers. I don't follow anything on social media. I keep getting kicked off anyway. I was just banned again from Twitter.
I know. I went to go tag you and it says 0 followers, 0. First of all, it wouldn't let me pull you up at all. And then it said 0 followers and following 0. And I was like, did you just get kicked off again?
I think that's the 5th time off of Twitter. And I swear to God, I don't even know what happened. So unless they got to still have a stick up their butt against something from whatever, but I've never received.
They're tracking your IP address.
Oh,
and that's how they're banning you.
I'm sure. But I've been using a VPN.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been using a VPN. I've been, switching things up. I've heard they can attach something onto your mobile carrier account. I've heard they can attach something right onto your SIM card on your phone. They could attach whatever they want, the restrictors or whatever they're doing. But yeah, so I'm off of Twitter again. I'm not really sure.
You're in good company. I can tell you that.
I know I am. So yeah, so I was saying I have to kind of check in every now and then.
With all the zero hedge stuff.
With all the zero hedge stuff, just news and seeing what's going on. A whole bunch of space weather stuff going on. That's kind of crazy. All these different things happening everywhere. Still not sure what to think about that. I know Uncle Cliff had his thoughts on it. And I know lots of other people are saying that although they've been watching these same charts for 5-10 years, they've never ever seen, I don't know what they mean, but I know that these people are saying they've never seen charts anything like this since they've started watching like the sun camera from NASA and stuff like that, and all these different magnetosphere, monitoring things. And so things are going absolutely really, really crazy.
Well, we're having insane weather here. I mean,
oh yeah,
it's May 10th, 11th. What day is today? I think it's the 11th.
Today is
and
12th actually. Yeah, right.
That's how far behind I am. May 12th, and I finally got caught up on all my Patreon messages. Thank you to everybody being patient for me or with me. But yeah, we're like yesterday, I don't know what the high was. This morning we woke up, we have the fireplace on and it's really cold and it's just not making sense at all. So, but we know, they control that too. So,
yep. Yeah, it's really crazy. I'm reading here, Satoshi Sean put in the comments. I heard today that there was a correlation between the government adding fluoride and a bump up in cancer and a spike in cancer. I don't know if you all know anything about that. Yes, that is true. And if you think about it, think about what that is. They told us they had to put that in our water to help us with our teeth. Like they're literally dumping tons of toxic chemical. By the way, the fluoride that they use today, that they dump in by the truckload into into your local water processing plant, it's not even the same fluoride that was originally tested. And there is like one form of fluoride, I'm not sure which one it is, that's actually beneficial to your teeth. This one here is not at all beneficial to you, and it's actually really bad, and it's the one that gets into your brain. It's a soft.
I thought it was the one. I thought they were putting it in to calcify your pineal gland. Was what I had heard.
It's one of those things. Yeah. It just slows you down. It makes you stupid. It's proven, and it's a well-known fact that the Nazis put it in the water supply in the camps in Germany because it kept you docile and slow and stupid. That's like literally what they use it for. Now, name me another thing, another drug or another benefit that the government wants to come dump in your water supply for you just to help you. I mean, teeth. I mean, really? How many people are going to die of teeth problems? Really? Even if everyone's teeth fall out, you're probably not going to die from it, right? But yet we have high blood pressure causing issues. We have high cholesterol destroying people. We have mental disease. We have any number of different malnutrition. Why not dump some vitamins in there, huh? Why not dump some vitamins and micronutrients and helpful things in there? No. So they're doing this. I don't know. It's the fluoride, the actual form of fluoride that they use in the water today is a byproduct of chemical processing. And, it's not the same stuff. Just like, sugar, there's a difference between white table sugar and like organic raw
cane sugar,
organic raw dried cane sugar is a big difference. Just like there's a difference between white salt, iodized table salt, and then you have pink salt or Himalayan salt or something like this. Those salts, the Himalayan and the pink salt, your body eats that as food, and it treats it as a food because it has all the different things in there. It doesn't spike up your salt levels in your blood, your sodium levels in your blood, because it's not just sodium. When you use white table salt, it literally is just pure sodium, and that causes damage to your body. That's an example of what they've done with the fluoride that used to be a good, I don't know if I'm going to say good. I'll say beneficial to your teeth, to something now that is just, literally used by concentration camps. I mean, literally, you can look it up. It's not, I'm not going crazy with that. But yeah, that's one of those things that usually, grinds my gears, as they say.
So there's not really a search on Zero Hedge that I can find, but
I was just kind of going in order, really. So if you on any of those ones I was doing.
I can't find the article that you're talking about, so I apologize. But I'll keep looking.
I'm sorry, that was the the last one I was just talking about? That was I was just mentioning because that was something I read.
Okay.
Yeah. I just like to go off on why they decide to give us, helpful medications in our water by the ton, for our teeth. There's certainly better things that they could help us with our health if they want to dump it in the water and really help us. So anyway, so there's a whole bunch of different things, kind of like this ivermectin and the HCQ, ivermectin, however you write it. Yes, one of those. And
my mom used that. So my mom raised cattle and goats and different things. So like Ivamec was what you poured on the dogs and the cows' backs and all that to get rid of parasites.
And it's a dewormer if taken internally too, right?
It's anti-parasite.
Yeah.
Which that's what worms are. And so when used in animals, I just think there's my mom has a friend named PJ that is a veterinarian, and they talk about, even when we took Roxy, my little 4-pound Maltese up because she had, something wrong with her stomach, and then we ended up getting her teeth fixed. Anyway, it was a whole thing. And she was on Ivamec, or not Ivamec, I'm sorry, amoxicillin. And my husband picked her up from the vet, and he's like, amoxicillin, like the same stuff we give our kids? She goes, yeah, it's the same stuff. It's not like dog version amoxicillin.
Oh yeah, it's the same stuff.
So, I mean, a lot of vet medicine is actually more honest than what we're doing for humans right now. So
a lot of it is, yeah. And you can also find all that online for your animals only on a lot of pet websites, a lot of pet wholesale farming websites.
We are not advocating anyone medicating themselves or anything. Just
no. For your animals. You don't want to get parasites on your animals. But as far as being taken off label, which is a very common thing in other countries, I don't know about it here, but I do know in places like Colombia and South America, they literally take that off label all the time. A lot of people do. It's a normal thing to do. They take it as part of their regular health health thing as part of a cleanse, or as part of a getting better after being really sick or ill or something like that. It is taken off label by people in other countries, and it's very common, and it does great deal of good for these people by removing any number of things. We all have parasites in us. We all just don't know it. If we take some of these, dewormer medicines, it would be, for example, if you go to places like India or some of the Caribbean islands or some of the poorer places in South America, it's very common for people to get these same parasitic infections also. Anything from hookworms to roundworms, any number of these different parasites. And you do take these, although it's the same stuff, like you're saying. And these are medicines that have been taken for a very, very long time by people and are very commonly still prescribed by people all the time. It's not like the only way you can get it is from animal stuff. It's very commonly prescribed by people by doctors all over the world. These is, this is regular.
Even, malaria, it would be, isn't that caused from a parasite? Well, I guess it's caused from
from mosquitoes putting the parasite
bites, but putting the parasite in you.
Right, which is where the HCQ comes in. That's where that was developed. The HCQ was the parasite, anti-parasitic developed for that parasite.
Oh, quote of the day.
That's funny.
Parasites among us all as well. We call them politicians. Amen, amen. I did see that, or Mom actually sent me a link saying that Ellen is quitting her show finally. So maybe we're going to start seeing some of these things going away. I also heard some really weird news about Meghan and Harry are partnering with Procter and Gamble because when she was a little kid, like 11, she was on Nickelodeon.
Yeah, she was a little boy. Yes, a little girl on Nickelodeon.
And she called them out for having a Dawn commercial about saying that mothers everywhere were getting rid of grease from their dishes. And so they actually changed the commercial because of what Meghan had called them out about. And so now Meghan and Harry are partnering with Procter and Gamble to help fight gender stereotyping or something ridiculous. So anyway,
sounds about right for those announcements that are going to come out with her with her fake baby bump and everything else that's on there.
Right. So I don't know. I just was thinking, oh my gosh, we are going to really start seeing these secrets revealed, like Uncle Cliff talked about. I mean, we're so close. This is May 12th. I mean, he talked about this in June, and you're already starting to see some of these pieces moving into place where we might start seeing some of this stuff. So
that's funny.
Exciting.
What's the sister-in-law's name? Not Meghan, the other brother's wife, that one.
Oh,
Princess, whatever she is.
Princess, what's her face?
Whatever she is. Did you ever see the pictures?
I've seen the picture that in the net dress.
Oh yeah.
With her packed up package. Hold on, let me see.
Yeah.
What's her name? I bet somebody said it in the chat.
I forget her name. What's her name?
Stacy Bonbon's here. She'll know.
Kate. Stacy
Middleton.
Kate Middleton. That's it. It's almost too hard and crazy to believe all of this. It really is. I mean, like if you're jumping in on all this stuff like we are, I believe you got to be out of your mind to believe this stuff. But do you have to be out of your mind to believe, this? Where do you have to be more out of your mind? To believe what we're actually seeing happen right now, or to believe fantastic stories that uneducated people from another country took control of airplanes and flew them into buildings in New York? Do you know how hard it is to fly one of those things? And supposedly they had training on little Cessnas or something like that. It's like driving a little tiny electric car versus like a 65-foot 18-wheeler. It's completely different. Yeah. So look at that. And there's other pictures too, where,
there's a little bulge here.
There's a little bulge there. There's no hips. There's no nothing.
Waist. And
no waste whatsoever.
I don't really see an Adam's apple, but it was pretty young here at this time. But
I would like to point out a very good point you just made here. On all of these pictures of all of these people where you're looking and guessing, the neck is always in a position where you kind of can't see it. It's usually hair hiding somewhere or another, and there's shadows. And here you have all three. I mean, could they make it more hard to see that? And I think if you zoom in, I think you can see that.
It's my understanding. I'll try, but it's my understanding that this is what she was wearing when she caught the prince's eye. Yeah, it won't let me really zoom in. Oh, there. Now see if I can drag it over. Yeah, that doesn't look right.
The black is showing. I can't really see it from here, but
Well, in this
my
it's
view is
very
different.
bulgy.
Yeah.
Everybody can pull this up if you just Google Kate Middleton net dress images and come up with your own.
The hips are covered on both sides. If you look at the picture there, the left hip is covered by the arm. The right hip is distracted by the hand. You know, look at. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you got to be crazy to believe this stuff, but
I don't know what they think anymore.
I'm with it though. I mean, it's just, and you know what? It's just more fun. It's just more fun to believe these silly things because they're probably true, because everything we've been told so far is not true. Yes, it certainly looks like she does, James Farmer. But who knows?
Paulie goes, I don't want to see that.
Paulie, look up close, Paulie. Zoom in.
Paulie does not want to zoom in. Holy cow.
I can imagine him. He's probably getting all angry. Punching things. Easy, Paulie. Calm down. Calm down, buddy.
Oh, goodness.
I can't wait to see everybody soon enough. When is this? When are we all getting together? What's the date?
The Westwood thing is
17. June 17th to 20. So,
but that's a real small deal. We need to plan a big public meetup soon. Hopefully we can do that. So
there should be, I mean, we're going to have to choose an open state. You know, it's going to have to be Florida or something like that, right? Because
I think that's a good idea. Open-minded Bitcoin is a Patreon of mine, patron of mine. I'm going to correct myself before my mother does. And he's trying to put together something, but I think it's on the West Coast. And I know he said Leader was going to be there, like Quinn Leader, and I can't remember who else he said. He just sent me a message today and asked if I could go. My only thing is, like, I don't want to go to California.
That might be tough. Yeah. I thought Quinn Leader was from the East Coast. No?
I'm not sure where Leader lives.
Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was from around by me somewhere.
I don't know. I think we need a Midwest meetup. I think Oklahoma's a great place.
Something where, preferably where there's cheap airfare, because there's some really cheap airfare still to Texas. I mean, to Florida.
Florida?
Yeah, I was just looking.
I wouldn't mind doing
$80 round trip nonstop. You know,
I just don't have anybody. I don't have. Yeah, Sean says Texas is always open. I love Texas, and I would be down for a Texas meetup. I don't know anybody in Florida that I know of that I could coordinate with, but
June 4th and 5th in Miami. I don't know who's right. Is Ken Bozak running Shitcoin?
Shitcoin?
Yeah, Shitcoin 2021. It's running from. I'll explain. It's running from It's running on the 4th and the 5th, which I believe is a Thursday and a Friday, right before the Miami Bitcoin conference. So this is the Shitcoin conference, and it says, because fuck maximalism is what it says. I think it might have something to do with Bozak. I'm not exactly sure, but that seemed really cool.
Let's blame him anyway.
Yeah, it looked really cool, though. I mean, I thought it was cool. And the cool thing was, too, they're doing it the right way. Tickets, $5. Okay? Tickets to this whole thing where they're going to have all these people from all the other coins. See, it's like a slap back or a pushback from Bitcoin, because it's like just a total maximalist. This convention is supposed to be like the epitome of Bitcoin maximalist conventions or something. I don't know. I haven't been to it. But the tickets are like $3,500 or $4,000. I mean, even if I had 500 Bitcoin, I still wouldn't spend that kind of money to listen to Go Have Friends. The Bitcoin conference
is really expensive. I looked into it, and it was, I want to say it's over $600, $700 for the conference. And then that's like just to go to the meetings or hear the people speak. Then it's another, it was another $300 or $400 for the rave or the event at night. And then it was another $300 or $400 for something else. I'm like, we're not at the top of the bull market yet. Let's give some of the people some.
It's absolutely options. Well, you know what? It's just,
so where do you get,
they're just taking advantage. They're just
2020. Cause I just Googled it and only came up with a Reddit ad that said nothing posted.
Oh, hold on. I just literally typed in Shitcoin 2021. Shitcoin 2021.
I have the wrong year.
You put 2020.
Oh, you guys, I'm so
Yes.
behind. My brain is like a little.
It's on Eventbrite. It says Thursday, June 4th, Thursday, June 3rd, and Friday, June 4th. 55 Northeast 24th Street in Miami, Florida. We all know that Bitcoin is king, but this doesn't mean there's not a ton of valid projects in the space. For the longest,
Kenny Bozak is the top speaker, so he
Okay.
might be helping to put this together then.
He's helping, yeah.
Jack Cochin, I don't know who that is.
Miss Teen Crypto is going to be there.
Aw, our
She's
girl.
so nice.
She's a great.
She always asks about my kids and everything every time I say hi and say she asks how the family
Well,
is.
your kids are adorable. So.
Well, thank you.
Crypto Kinsey, Jeff Crane, Irna Litchford, Mike Salvi, Token Gamer. Man, they're gonna have a lot of speakers.
They got a lot of speakers, a lot of stuff happening here. Plus, it's just a nice thing to, a nice get together. And like I said too, it's $5. I mean,
is that really what the prices are for
them? Yeah, it's right on the bottom of the thing. Yeah, $5.
Get tickets.
That's the way it's supposed to be. Not $3,500 once you add in everything to go to.
Well, because you already have an expense to travel and go, and I understand like wanting people to pay and have ticket price, because it also helps you prepare for the place, just knowing, and people having a little skin in the game. If a bunch of people say, oh yeah, I'm going, but they never make plans because they didn't have to buy the ticket.
Right.
So I understand the whole, from doing events for years and years, I understand doing the ticket price. $5 is really cheap.
Yeah. Or something reasonable,
their sponsors.
Yeah. Even like the last two Litecoin conferences, they were like the same. They didn't have one in 2020, but the last two, they were about the same. If you got like the full thing, it was like $300 if you wanted like everything, and you got like the t-shirt and the backpack and everything. But yeah, so $300
in there and all that.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, $300 for a few days of something, that's acceptable. $3,000?
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't know. That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. So, they're taking this shitcoin conference here is taking and making it more the people's thing, making it more so anybody can just stop in and check it out. You're going to show more interest in the common people and the people who aren't, that into it yet. Just, okay, $5. Let's just go. You got airfare for, $100, call it. You got a ticket for $5. So for like $300, you get a room and you get everything. And that's the way to do it if you're going to travel.
Well,
it's just,
then I'm a fan of Shitcoin 2021. Maybe that would be a good thing that we could all go to.
See, I'm saying, I was just looking out. There's still rooms available in the area. It's not too expensive. Airfare for those dates, I was looking, the most expensive one was $125 or something like that. Nonstop, New York to.
We need to get a big Airbnb so we can all stay together.
That would be the way to go, because
fun.
I would love to do that. The girls and I were actually looking into it. So I don't know. Enough about that. But yeah, so that's one of them. Then we got Westwood thing, and I'm looking forward to Ben's thing in July. I want to go, but I can't commit that I'll be.
Has Ben doing a public time? I haven't even seen it. He's been doing a lot of his trainings for his business.
Yeah.
There was another, so he has a date. I'll have to hit him up on his date for his public meetup.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a public one. I think the public one is going to be the before or after, or maybe I'm totally wrong on that. But he's got from July 10th and 11th in Texas. He's got something going on. Since I missed the Texas that was supposed to be last year, right? Last April, right?
It's not the same thing.
Right.
So the Texas stuff that he's doing now is trainings for his company, for his like instead of Geek Squad, he has like Crypto Squad. And that's the stuff he's doing in Texas. And you have to pay to go to these trainings, and then you're part of the business. So it's not like a general public meetup. But I know he was planning on doing some stuff for the summer and traveling with the RV. And I talked to Bix, this weekend, and while we were in Arizona, and he said that his RV has been delayed. And I heard, we had been talking about it for a while because we knew from JMac and Westwood that there had been the microchip shortage, and now there's this car shortage because of the same things. Also, used car prices are up because there's a shortage. So it might
which goes back to the Nasara thing too. They're going to be encouraging used products. They're going to be encouraging recycling and everything. There's supposedly, if you want to go into the Nasara, there's supposedly all tax is going to be taken away and removed, and we're going to have like a flat 13 or 14 or something like that, 15% tax on only some things, new goods and some services, nothing essential, and no taxes will be applied to any used or secondhand items. So we're almost kind of seeing this used and secondhand market really becoming strong and resilient now. Whereas, 2 or 3 years ago, when the car companies were still producing a ton of cars and everyone was leasing on the cheap, there was the used market wasn't so strong because, there was a million of them coming off lease at any time, whatever you wanted to get. Now I would assume they're still coming off lease, right? But nobody's purchasing new more. I guess people are just strapped and they can't afford
new. There aren't new that are being made. Like when Charlie was working at the dealership, so a year ago now, they were telling him, like, we don't know past August how many cars we're going to be able to get to you because we're having these shortages. Yeah. And now we're seeing it. Like when he talks to his buddies at the dealerships and stuff, they've got 4 new cars on the lot and they're not getting any more for the rest of the year. So there's just this big demand for used. We do need to clear up. We have somebody in the chat that's a little confused. She's saying that she hears Nasara just being just as bad, and that I think she has it confused with the Great Reset. And so can you kind of explain the two different things? The Great Reset is one thing, Nasara is one thing.
Sure. It's my understanding, Lee, led me to it started with the acronym Nasara, and it was actually hijacked. Nasara used to stand for, is it National Economic Security and Reformation Act. And then somebody tried to hijack it, and they switched it from that to the National Economic Security and Reform Act, or vice versa. I don't remember which way it was. And by switching the one word in the acronym, you've completely changed what it was. So they've tried to take what was the original Nasara, the good one, where it would be like the old benevolent school debt jubilees, right? It would be like the real debt jubilee. Right.
Yeah.
Right. And they've actually tried to co-opt it. This was back in the 80s, I think. A guy put a book out and he switched that one word in the acronym in the book, and kind of nobody caught it because reformation, maybe it means the same thing. Nobody pays attention. So then that kind of skewed it from into the good and into the bad. They were, in my opinion, trying to hijack the good, benevolent Nasara and turn it into the bad Nasara, which has now been renamed the Great Reset, or any one of those things where, many people say you will have nothing and you will like it. I don't.
Definitely two different things there.
Definitely two different things, and two different sides, two different end games, two different results. But I think in a way they're both actually real and alive almost right now, because you have both sides pushing for the same thing. If you're looking at it through one lens, you might only see the negative. You might see what the bad people are pumping out and say, no, we don't want Nasara. Kind of like with the aliens, like we spoke about last week. How many people, if there is this alien invasion, and 90% of 99% of the people are going to run away if a spaceship comes down. But like I was saying, what if they're actually here to help? So kind of like this Nasara thing, they kind of slip it in there, and now not only are people either confused or uninformed as to what Nasara is and what its purpose is, you actually have some people kind of maybe hesitant on it or pushing it away. So energetically, what's that doing? You're voting against it. You're pushing it away. And then we are
manifesting that.
Exactly.
So this weekend I got to meet Janie Moonstone.
It's all part of the war.
Spend a lot of time with her. Yes. And so she did a reading for me, and you had given me as a Christmas gift a reading with Lindsay, who does a lot of your mentoring, spiritual work, and all that. Amazing lady. And one of the things she told me specifically was that it's going to be around 11 o'clock at night or around 11. Maybe I came up with the 11 now that I'm saying it out loud. I don't know where the 11 came from. But anyway, she said that I would know, and I was supposed to go outside and bring my phone to film, and I was supposed to look southwest, and that basically I was going to be seeing aliens. Well, so then I don't tell Jenny that, of course. We're like meeting. We do a reading. I asked her, would you please do a reading for me? So we're like back in this little cool place in this house and talking and having all our girl time. And she does a reading and she's like, okay, there's something where you're going to actually like see something. And I knew that's what she was talking about. I said, yeah, I was told that, but I was told I don't know. I wouldn't know when. And then she pulls another card and it was like the page, a page of pentacles, I wanted to say. And she's like, oh, your little boy's going to tell you. She goes, he's an empath and he's going to know and he's going to tell you, and you guys are going to go outside together. And then I have the information from Lindsay that says, look southwest. So if and when that ever happens, I will post it so everyone can see. But it was really exciting talking to her about some of that stuff too, is the, aliens and the benevolent ones and
that's
what's
really
going
cool.
on and who's fighting for us and how much of a war is going on behind the scenes that we're not even, aware of or conscious of.
I've heard her speak a few times. One that really sticks out in my head is never mind. This probably shouldn't get into that right now.
Oh, okay. Well,
maybe a different topic another time.
Yeah. And she talks about things that you get in trouble on YouTube.
She seems to be very, very gifted and very cool, and has a lot of the same experiences in childhood that I had, leading her to where she got, where she is now. I always appreciated that. Without going to it, I appreciated that very much from her. And she says that her experiences in her past, bad things and good things, brought her to where she is and made her who she is today, and then learned to use those deficits or bad things, as some might see, into good things and transforming it around and using it.
And she has a really healthy attitude, I think, about embracing herself and her gifts and what she's there to share. And she's also doesn't have a big ego at all. She's just very loving and sweet, open, down to earth. One of the other people that I got to meet this weekend was Chris Marcus. Brilliant. I know I've gone off and off about how wonderful and incredibly intelligent he is for the last couple days, but he really is. And one of the things, we're sitting there and all these people are having these, really high level conversations around us. Whether it's Bix and Chris talking silver and the comics and, what's going on. And then we're, Chris was asking my Charlie a lot about crypto stuff. So that was really cool that we could share with him some of that information. But he got a call from one of his clients who's unable to you cannot buy any silver in Mexico right now. So we knew that we were seeing the mints shut down. I have a patron that sent me where his last 2 monthly subscriptions were canceled through the U.S. Mint, saying not be fulfilled. And now we're seeing silver in Mexico shutting down. Is that part of Nasara where the precious metals, do they have to stop or shut down to then be distributed, or however that new system's going to come out?
I think if they were to shut it down, it would be more voluntary, so that it would be country. I would assume all of these mines in Mexico, whomever owns them, I would assume with Nasara, everything is going to be nationalized. So if you have some foreign company owning your big silver mine in the middle of Mexico, or a big gold mine in the middle of Alaska, I think they're going to get kicked out, just like the Middle East countries did to the gas and the oil companies in the 70s. But yeah, it would make sense to me that they have to kind of hold on to it. But also too, I think they're just getting squeezed out. I just think they can't keep up with supply. I think they've been this close for so long to meeting the necessary demand, either from investment or from industrial, for so long, that once you tip it up just a little tiny bit, getting more physical metals off of out of the system. I just don't think that they can handle it either. So I think it could be both. But I think it might be more where they just can't keep up with demand as of right now, because I know for a fact here on the East Coast, there is no new demand coming in. If you're getting something from a wholesaler or from these, online places or anything local, especially around here, it's secondary market or recycled. So you actually, where they used to take the take scrap and process it and refine it and put it out into rounds or bars and send it out. They used to do that overseas. Now you're getting places right in New York City who are the refineries accepting it all, refining it down and putting it right back into the market. Like, I think they have like a 1-day turnaround on their whatever scrap they get in. So if they get a bunch of jewelry scrap or industrial scrap silver, they can process it and get it out into bars and coins within a day or so, something like that. But that's all that's out on the market here. You get secondary market and you get recycled market, and that's it.
Used, right? That's
used. That's it.
The Nasara car thing and all of that.
Yeah.
Well, I'd love to have refrigerators like they used to make them back in the 50s where they last forever. Not the new ones you have to replace every 10 years or whatever. So
there's quick story.
Yeah.
My grandmother growing up, and this just really put a smile on my face. My grandmother growing up had one of those old TVs. I was probably in 4th or 5th grade, and it was literally an old ice box that years ago they had converted to have to put the little compressor in where the ice used to go in the ice box to blow the cold air down and everything. It was like a conversion of an actual non-electric icebox fridge, and she had that forever and ever and ever. And I always wanted it, and then but I was like 14, and she moved out of that place, and nobody got it. But that's one of those things. I would love to have some old cool things like that, the old barber chairs, the old equipment, the old thick enamel on the old white 4-burner stove from back in the day.
There's some beautiful,
cool.
Really beautiful stuff like that. Well, that's exciting. More exciting stuff for the future. You guys, you can find more information and connect with Public at thepublicawakening.com. So check that out, and be sure to join my Patreon today. I will be posting that video, and Michelle and SL have this conversation, and they are really close. So they've had conversations in the past that then when they're talking, they'll allude to those conversations, and they kind of work in there when they both see the banks going down. And it's not too far away. So join that Patreon. It's really cool. It's $5 a month, helps support the channel. And you get to talk to me. I check it. Well, I try to check it every day, if not twice a day, but I got behind over the weekend. So I'm all caught up now. So
nice.
I'll be able to say hi to anyone that joins today. So, and I'm going to wait at least an hour so that people have time to jump on there. And
apparently
that's a great way to end.
Parade of cars going
They're
by.
really excited about my Patreon. That's what it was.
They're rushing to get it. It really is a great deal, everybody. Everybody should at least be a little bit on there. $5. I mean, honestly, what's $5 these days?
Yeah.
And it supports the channel. It helps her. It helps us all be able to get this stuff out. And it's greatly appreciated.
And get to meetups too.
Yeah,
so
meetups. That's very important too.
All that goes towards everything that promotes the channel. So I really appreciate that. Thanks to everybody in the chat. If you're watching this later, please comment about those food issues we talked about, or whatever you thought was the best part of this video, so that we can know kind of what you guys are looking at and looking for. And we'll see you guys tomorrow with Johnny Litecoin. So everybody have a great day, and remember to love one another.